What's up everybody, it's Royalty Crypto here and welcome back to my channel. So today I will be talking about the original and largest meme coin, that being Dogecoin. I'm going to go over whether or not I think it's a good time to be buying right now and some potential price targets to be looking at for Dogecoin for 2026. I'm also going to look at the crypto market as a whole and go over some interesting catalysts that I believe will be affecting the prices of crypto in the coming weeks to months. Also guys, this is a brand new YouTube channel, so I would greatly appreciate it if you could smash that like and subscribe button. Your guys' support is what keeps me coming back each and every day and bringing you guys daily crypto content. With all that being said, let's take a look at the overall market. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin is right back down to 88,100. It's been a bit of a roller coaster of a day, even though it doesn't seem like it, because as you can see, we are exactly even from where we were 24 hours ago. However, Bitcoin did go on quite a nice run this morning as we got up to slightly above $90,000, and since then we have rejected back down to 88,000. Overall guys, I do believe that strength is slowly but surely starting to return to the crypto market, and investors are starting to regain confidence that the potential bottom could be in for Bitcoin, and if that's the case, then you can reasonably expect altcoins to be in the same type of situation. And as you can see, Ethereum and Solana are having similar days to Bitcoin, as they both did have a decent pump this morning, but we are back down to where we started the day. So let's go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin. As you can see, Dogecoin is currently trading at 13 cents, and we are currently retesting the trend line that we have been respecting for about the past 3 years. As you can see, we've been maintaining this upwards trend line since about late 2023 when the price of Dogecoin bottomed at 6 cents. So honestly guys, this chart does look significantly more bullish than most other altcoins in the space, which does give me a lot of hope that Dogecoin could have another fantastic run within the next 6 to 12 months whenever euphoric times returns to the altcoin space. And as you can see, in late 2024, Dogecoin was able to push back up to 45 cents at one point, but its all-time high was hit in 2021 when we got to about 75 cents. I know it doesn't quite register on this chart here, but we did get that high. So guys, if I were to give a price prediction for this coin, I would say that best case scenario, we could push up to about $1 to $1.20 if we did go into a parabolic phase for crypto. Now, I do think that it is very likely that 2026 will end up being how most people expected 2025 to be. My reasoning for that is because quantitative easing actually started just about a week ago, and I do fully expect the money printers to be running like crazy for the next 1 to 2 years. So I do think that that does help crypto immensely, because the more liquidity that's circulating around the system, the better it is for risk on assets like crypto. Also, it's very likely that the Fed will continue to slowly but surely cut rates for the next 1 to 2 years as well, which is of course bullish for risk on assets. And there's multiple other reasons why I think this, and I will get into some of those later on in this video. But regardless guys, it is very important to take profits on the way up for coins like Dogecoin, because you never know truly how high this coin could get. It is theoretically possible that we could end up running up to around 50 to 70 cents and retesting the old all-time high, and then getting rejected off of that, and then going into a potential bear market. So it's very important that you sell on the way up. And if you're watching my videos, I'll keep you guys updated with different indicators, and I will let you guys know when I personally start to take profits on these coins. So do I think it's a good time to be buying Dogecoin? I absolutely do think it is a fantastic risk to reward opportunity to buy Dogecoin at 13 cents. But of course, that is not financial advice. That is just my opinion. My reasoning for that is because we are retesting the trend line that we have been holding for the past 3 years. And I do think that it is more likely than not that we will end up having another bounce off of this trend line. And I do think that we could theoretically get between at least 30 to 50 cents. Also guys, the crypto fear and greed index is currently sitting at a 29, and historically, whenever you're accumulating strong altcoins like Dogecoin, when the market is this fearful, it ends up being a very good opportunity once greed returns to the market. And I do expect greed to return at some point in 2026, although it is difficult to say exactly when that will be. This significant discount for the price of Dogecoin won't last long in my opinion, especially considering all of the bullish macro catalysts coming around the corner. And one of those bullish macro catalysts is the fact that President Trump is expected to name the new Fed chair to replace Jerome Powell by the first week of January. Now, I think what is very likely to happen with this is President Trump is going to pick the most dovish option for the Fed chair. And as Trump has stated multiple times, one of his requirements for whoever the new Fed chair will be is instantly cutting the federal funds rate. So I think what will end up happening, guys, is this is going to create an insanely bullish catalyst for crypto because people are going to anticipate this new Fed chair to end up cutting rates down to 1% basically as quickly as possible. Now, I don't know if they actually will cut rates down to 1%. However, that is not necessarily my concern because I think what is most likely to happen is this will create a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So I think that it is very likely that once President Trump does announce this new Fed chair replacement, that crypto is going to pump like crazy up until the federal chair is officially nominated into office, which is sometime in May of 2026. So I do think that it is possible that we could end up seeing at least a local top, if not the actual top for Bitcoin and crypto in May of 2026. But of course, guys, we will just have to see how this ends up playing out and whether or not we end up getting this parabolic pump on the news of the federal chair replacement. But nonetheless, guys, I think that this is going to be a very impactful event for crypto. So I would be keeping your eyes on this, and I will continue to update you on this situation in basically all of my videos. All right, guys, so let's take a look at some economic data releases coming later this week that could potentially create some volatility. So as you guys can see, tomorrow we are getting the Q3 GDP, consumer confidence, and new home sales. And Wednesday we are getting durable goods orders, and I believe we are also getting jobless claims on Wednesday. So this information is very important for the short term in crypto, and what we really want to see is that inflation continues to stay cooler than expected, but oddly enough, we want economic data to be weaker than expected. The reason for that is because risk on asset holders should be rooting for the federal funds rate to continue to drop, as I mentioned earlier on in this video. And right now, we only have a 20% chance that the federal funds rate will continue to drop in this next FOMC meeting in late January. However, that could change if the data releases coming in the next couple of weeks is in line with what we want to see. So this is really just something to keep your eyes on. But nonetheless, guys, I think that this is the more important medium-term catalyst because if President Trump really does select a dovish Fed chair, then it really doesn't matter what Jerome Powell decides to do in the short term because everybody will just be anticipating the new Fed chair and the moves that he will likely make over the short-term decisions because the market always is forward-looking, as you guys know. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all had a fantastic day, and make sure that you continue to stay strong, stay bullish, and ignore the FUD as much as possible. And I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Peace.